Hi everyone, welcome back to another STEM video. And of course, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And today we're gonna get really sciencey with color. Color makes our world exciting. It makes our world pop. But what happens when you take color away? We're gonna learn about that today. So we're going to do a science experiment with color first, and then, hint, hint, we're going to make a project with it. So grab your supplies and let's get started. For today's science experiment, you will need some glasses. Plastic or glass is just fine. Some safety equipment. These are rubber gloves. Some bleach. Please make sure you ask an adult and get help. Some H2O. That's water. And of course, color. Let's get started. Now, before we do anything, make sure you have your safety equipment on and make sure you are asking for help from an adult. Whenever you're using chemicals in an experiment, there's always a chance that something could go wrong, and you certainly want help in case that happens. Also, it's just the safe thing to do. So make sure you get help. So in today's experiment, we are going to see what happens to color when you add bleach. Now we have 4 glasses because we have 4 different colors. So we are going to add our colors to the glasses and see what happens. All right, as you can see, we've got our colors mixed. So now it's time to bring in our bleach. And again, remember, you need to ask for help. Working with chemicals can be dangerous, and make sure you're wearing your protective equipment. So what we're going to do is add about 1/3 cup of bleach to each of our colors here, and we're going to see what happens with the color. All right, it's been several minutes and the bleach has had enough time to work its way through the color. So this is what we are left with. As you can see, it's very hard to tell which one was which. They all kind of look about the same color of bleach now, which is kind of that yellowish, greenish hue. But why does bleach take away color? That's where the science comes in. So the reason bleach is able to take away color is because bleach contains something called sodium hypochlorite, which is an oxidizer. So what it does is reacts with the color molecules in the food coloring that we used. Although the pigment in the molecule remains, its shape changes so that it can't absorb or reflect light in the same way as it did before. So it loses its color as a result of the chemical reaction caused by the bleach. And now that our science experiment is over, we are going to carefully carry these to the kitchen sink and dump them down and put our glasses in the dishwasher. So what did we need to learn all about bleach for? Well, you're going to make this awesome Bleach tie-dye project today. If you've been in 4-H for any length of time and you've gone to a camp or a conference, then you probably have a 4-H t-shirt. I have a lot of them, maybe 100. And eventually you want to spruce them up. This is a long sleeve t-shirt that we got from a camp just this year. And it was dark enough that I thought it would look really great as a bleach tie-dye shirt. So I'll pop around and let you see the back as well. There we go. And the sleeves, kind of neat. And this is a dark blue shirt. Dark blues and blacks work best. So if you want to do this project yourself, you can dig around in your closet after you ask permission and find some dark old clothing that maybe you would otherwise not use or throw out, and make it new again. This is also a great chance to go thrifting at a thrift store and find a cool find that you can make new again. So today I have a couple different things we're going to work on. I have 2 short sleeve t-shirts. There they are. Kind of boring right now, right? I also have a scarf, as you can see. Ooh, beautiful, lovely. And I have a pair of leggings. I don't know how these are going to turn out, but sometimes that's science. You don't know how it's going to turn out. So we're going to make all of these today and see how they turn out. And we'll try a couple different methods of bleach tie-dyeing. And again, make sure that you are asking for help, because when you are working with chemicals, we want to make sure we are being very safe. So wear your equipment and ask for help. Let's get started. For this project, you will need something to tie-dye, some rubber bands, some bleach, and you'll also need a bucket or a basin, something to put it in. It just won't fit on my frame, but you'll need a bucket too. Some more H2O, of course that's water, safety equipment, and a squeeze bottle to mix your water and bleach together. Now it's time to make our bleach and water mixtures. We're not adding straight bleach to our clothes. If you add straight bleach or undiluted bleach to clothes, it'll probably eat right through. So what we're going to do is mix half water and half bleach. So I have my squeeze bottle here. I'm going to fill it about halfway with water. About there. And I'm going to very carefully top off the rest with some bleach. Make sure the bleach doesn't splash around, and it's a good idea to do this in your kitchen sink. All right, and we're very carefully going to put our lid back on, make sure it's nice and secure, and then you're going to invert it so that the water mixes with the bleach. And this is the solution we will use to tie-dye our clothes today. So the first method we're going to try is the wetting and twisting method. So I've got my t-shirt here, and what I'm going to do is just wet it. And it doesn't need to be hot water or cold water or anything fancy, it's just some water. And you're going to wet the t-shirt down. And you want to make sure it's wet all the way through, and then we're going to squeeze most of the water out. Give it a little twist. And that looks like it's wet all the way through. So we're ready for the next step. So this is called the twisting method because you do twist it. So the first thing you need to do is find a floor that's not carpet. So you might want to do this on your kitchen or bathroom floor. But what we're going to do is lay out our t-shirt right side up and get it pretty flat, just like that, all right? And you're going to decide where you want your twist to start. This t-shirt has a pocket, so it might be cool to have the twist on top of the pocket. So what I'm going to do is grab it, pinch it, so I have a good hold of it, and start to twist, all right? And because it's wet, it's going to stay really nice and tight. So you're going to keep twisting, twisting and twisting until you have a little t-shirt cinnamon bun like this, okay? And then we're going to add our rubber bands on top. So with our rubber bands, we are going to break up our little t-shirt cinnamon bun into pieces, okay? So the first one is going to go right through the middle, just like this, and to the other side. Make sure it's nice and even. And you're going to do this again, split it in half again, and then split it in half again. And split it in half one more time like this. So now your cinnamon bun kind of looks like a pie. The next method we're going to try is called the scrunch method, all right? So take your dry t-shirt. You didn't need to wet this one, make sure it's dry. You're going to find the right side up, and you are going to decide where you want your scrunches to be. So I'm just kind of gonna do it randomly. So scrunch, 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 make sure you're gathering it all together. And then you have a nice scrunch ball. So you're gonna hold that still, and you're going to add your rubber bands kind of like the other one. And it's not gonna stay quite as tight as if the t-shirt was wet. This is the scrunch method. It's gonna do what it wants to do. All right, so that's the scrunch method. Since my scarf is kind of long and flowy, I thought this would be a good candidate for the rolling method. So we are just gonna lay this out as flat as it'll go, and I'm going to kind of roll it and bunch it like this. So a little bit of rolling, a little bit of bunching. So that's the rolling method. And my last item here is these leggings. Now remember, I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. It might be terrible, but we're gonna see how it turns out anyway. So for this one, I thought it might be a little fun to do some just random bunching. So we are just gonna use the bunching method and maybe some twisting methods to get these guys in here. All right, as you can see, I have all of my different methods here. So it is now time to don our protective equipment and head outside. All right, I'm outside. I have my protective equipment on. I have all of my projects, and I have the bucket I'm going to do my bleaching in. Now, you don't have to use a big bucket like this. You can use a dish pan or something like that. You do want to make sure that it's big enough to hold your projects though. So we're going to do these projects one at a time and see how they turn out. So let's go. So here's my little cinnamon bun. And for this one, I think I'm going to go on the open parts of the pie. All right, let's try our next one. All right, let's put in our next one. This is our long scarf. All right, we're gonna pull this one out and do our last one. The leggings. Again, I have no idea how these are gonna turn out. All right, it's time to take all of our projects inside and rinse them off. All right, as you can see, we've brought all of our projects inside into the bathtub, and now we are going to get them completely rinsed out. You want to keep rinsing until no more ink comes out of your clothes. All right, we're going to take all of our clothes and toss them into the washer on a regular cycle. And just like that, you have your own Bleach Tye-Dye shirt. This one's really cool because it has that star pattern. And now on to the scarf. As you can see, it has some really awesome patterns. They kind of look like clouds. And I love the way that the color went all the way to the edges and even dyed the fringe. So this would go really well with a tank top like I'm showing you. I love the way it sits. It's really light, really airy. And I think the color splotches almost kind of look like a floral print or roses or something like that. So you could wear this a couple different ways, as you can see here. I'm really stoked with how this came out. I think it looks fantastic. Really successful project. Now this is my favorite project of the day. This is the t-shirt we used the scrunching method on, and I just love the way the splotches have come out. I think it kind of looks like a galaxy. So yeah, this one's my favorite. Now onto the moment you've all been waiting for. The leggings. These did not come out great. I'm not sure if it was the fabric that did it or something else, but it was worth a try. And hey, sometimes that's what happens in science. It doesn't turn out the way you thought it would. Thanks for joining us for today's video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.